Hi, everyone. Welcome to the final activity for this Learning Cycle 3, about science, technology, and engineering. We're going to be creating a lesson or a learning activity that will help build towards the assessment you created earlier in the week. So let's have a look at this Google document here that helps you design your learning activity and lesson. I'll post a video here in a moment. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to have to think about is questions. This has been a big thing around this topic. What is the compelling question that's going to drive the learning with your students? You might have already come up with that compelling question earlier in the week, and it might be the same one. You'll have to identify your philosophy, the essential elements as we've done before, and you want to make sure that this assessment is some type of learning that the students will be able to undergo in order to help them be successful in the assessment you designed earlier in the week. Of course, you'll need to know what grade level it's for, and you'll need to make sure that it's appropriate for that grade level and engaging. And then your learning activity should also make sure it includes, and let me know what practice you're using or what guiding principles are connected to your learning activity. And then the last thing that we'll be talking about here is that your lesson should include a math standard or digital literacy and computer science standard, or some type of math topic that we have learned about before, or some type of digital literacy and computer science topic that you feel could be infused into this lesson. We've already gone through math and digital literacy, and we're beginning to be experts in understanding what entails to best teach those topics. And science and technology and engineering is a great opportunity to try and infuse those lessons. And the famous way that a lot of people are doing it is with STEM activities. So we can look at a lot of different STEM learning activities, and we already have looked at a lot of STEM activities this week. Let me just change this to gray, where you can try to see how are other teachers infusing mathematics and technology into their lessons. And maybe you will get an idea from those to try and do that with your learning activity. Okay, so I have a bunch of resources. You can have a look. I even included some things about design thinking because I heard that a lot of people were interested in that. So how might you infuse design thinking into your learning activity? Here's a Padlet, a collection of hyperdocs that are related to science that you can have a look at, and then a collection of hands-on STEM activities. And that's what the best thing is about some of these science learning opportunities is we can experiment, we can try to test things out, we can get hands-on with different things to find out how things work. So this is a great example of doing that. I've also created a bunch of opportunities for you to take a template, but I wanted to highlight about these templates, something about these templates, that these are designed really just to get you started. I don't necessarily need you to use exactly these words: engage, apply. You could change those words to empathize, or create, or experiment, or a hands-on activity. So these are just ways for you to get your thinking going and start to design your lesson. But I wouldn't expect you to use these straight off from what they are. You might want to change them a lot. And actually, I even highlight here, it's not required for you to use these templates. You might actually prefer to completely start from scratch, because I'm sure you've learned a lot of different things these past couple of weeks, these past 6 weeks, and you might have some really creative ideas that some of these templates might constrict you to. So be creative. Do whatever you think you feel is going to be an engaging and awesome lesson that includes all of these different elements we've talked about up here. Okay, and then this week we'll also not be doing an iteration phase, just because it's the last week and we have not a lot of time left. And you also need to do the reflection activities as well. So all I require for this one is that you reply to just one professional learning community member and give them some feedback on their lesson plan. You don't need to reply back or iterate or tell them how you would change the activity based on their feedback. So hopefully in the end, we've created some incredible learning activities that you could take with you to be used in the future with your students. And if not, you've definitely created some type of STEM activity or lesson activity that you can own and you could share with other teachers that they could possibly use. Okay, well, thank you very much and enjoy being creative and designing a learning activity for your students.